4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey y'all, welcome to Cheapalicious. I'm Maka, a student at Maas University, and I'll pass on to Pretty Dodo.
I am Donique from St. Martin. I'm a public health student at the university as well.
And today I'm going to be making Bariis karis. It's a Somali dish, a bit like fried rice. And if I were to literally translate it, it's like rice cooked. Don't shoot me Somalians, y'all. Yeah, and Donique?
I'm going to be making a Jamaican dish because my entire family is from Jamaica, and it's called Jamaican jerk chicken or finger licking chicken, and it's going to be very spicy, a bit sweet and savory at the same time. So we're going to start off with the Jamaican jerk chicken, and basically we're going to create a marinade for the chicken. And here I already cut up some onions, some garlic and some ginger, and so we're gonna cut up some of these scallions next. And basically this is more or less from the family of the onions, but it has a more sharp flavor and it's so delicious. And the ginger is gonna give it some spice, and garlic, it's just awesome and everything. So.
And first of all, I chopped up the Spanish onion. They don't have to be very big nor very small, so like in between. And then what I'm going to do is I have olive oil over here, and I'm going to use 8 tablespoons or probably more, depending how much, whether it goes right or not. And then I'm going to wait for the onions to sort of caramelize, sort of like sets in and gives it a bit of flavor, a bit of aroma, and it's going to be beautiful. I'm going to use, I call it a tom-tom because that's what I've called since I was a kid, but yeah, I'm going to mash up all the garlic and the cloves, and then I'm also going to add that to the caramelized onions and the tomatoes. And what the garlic does is just also adds to the flavor and the scent as well. Oh, it's going to be so beautiful. And then the cardamom, they're sort of sweet, so it's sort of like contrast as well, and it's also going to give that sweet and sour flavor.
And we are going to add some thyme. Thyme has a very strong flavor, so we're not going to add too much. About 1/4 of a tablespoon. And I brought my own pimento seasoning from home. This is the most ingredient in Jamaican jerk chicken. If you don't have this, it's not Jamaican jerk chicken. And it's quite easy to find. You can get it at the Amazing Oriental for less than €2 for a pack. And it kind of has this brown color. It's kind of sweet and very earthy. It's delicious. And now I'm gonna add some ketchup mani. Let's say this is about 1/8 of a cup. I'm gonna add double that, just because I really like this stuff. It's kind of like soy sauce, but it's thicker and sweeter. It's awesome. And I'm gonna add some apple cider vinegar, and this is going to give it a bit of acidity. It's gonna make it kind of tangy. So if you ever want to make your dish kind of not sweet but kind of sour, then this is what you should use. It's really nice. And another very important ingredient, a Maggi block. Way better than salt, way more flavor, all in one little block. Just crumble it inside. And now for my favorite part, the sweetness. That's one thing I would say separates Caribbean cooking with, say, a lot of cooking in African countries. A lot of people may think it's quite similar, but I'd say one of the biggest differences is that we use sugar in our foods.
Definitely.
And for today I don't really have sugar, so I'm going to use the next best thing. That's honey. So I'm going to put 1 heaping tablespoon. Believe it or not, waffle sauce. I call it waffle sauce, I'm not sure what it's called. It's taupe. This has a bit more of a sharper taste and honey. I prefer this over honey actually in my savory dishes. Yeah, it's about a tablespoon. And last, we're gonna add some orange juice. I know, we're putting a lot of very odd things in here, but trust me, the taste is gonna be so worth it. So that's about half a cup. We want 1 cup. Okay. And I would say we're just about done. That was all our seasonings, everything together. And this is how it looks right now. Just a big melange of delicious, colorful goodness.
It smells good too, y'all. I'm going to grind the garlic and the cloves, and then once I've done that, I'm going to add it to the caramelized onions, and then I'm going to add the tomatoes, and then once I've done the tomatoes, I'm going to add the vegetables, and then I'm going to wait for it to half cook, and then I'm going to add the basmati rice, and so they can like mix all together, and it's going to be nice.
And here I'm going to start blending up all my ingredients, and then I'll start to mix it with the chicken. So I'm going to go do that now.
For the Bariis isku karis, fried rice, whatever you want to call it, I'm going to, I mashed up the garlic and the cloves, and it should be looking sort of like brownish, golden brown. Yeah, it looks nice brown. And I'm just going to add it into the rice. You cook it for a minute so that like the aroma releases itself, and it's going to be whew. And then you're going to add the diced up tomatoes. So I'll do that here.
So for the jerk chicken, I already blended up all the ingredients. My chicken is here. They have been washed already. And then you're just gonna have to add the marinade and the chicken together. Mix it up by hands. And then we're gonna add it to our pan and shove it in the oven for about 45 minutes. Not too high of a heat, perhaps 250 would be perfect. So we have our chicken here and our marinade. Now just dump it in. See, we don't have that much chicken, so we don't have to use all the marinade. And you're gonna get down and dirty. Get your hands in there, don't be afraid. Chicken feels quite nice actually, soft.
And mine is still cooking, but I just wanted to let you guys know that you may feel that your tomato pieces may slightly be too big, but don't worry. Since tomatoes are quite soft anyways, it just sort of mushes itself into the food. And right now, it's sort of looking like a brown reddish, I should say. And yeah, and then slowly you should just put it on a low heat, not on a high heat please, just a low heat, and just let it simmer into itself, and yeah, cook slowly.
So we're gonna place our chicken now onto the baking sheets. It's nice to just use one hand, so you can have one clean hand free to do whatever you want. Okay. There's no specific order. Although I like to put it 69 style, because then you take up less space. So our chicken has been laid out nicely and evenly inside of our baking pan. I'm going to take some foil now to cover it. Then we're going to put it in the oven that has been preheating. And actually, if you put foil over it, it helps to create this kind of barrier that doesn't let your chicken burn quickly. So it's just gonna soak and cook nicely. And then later on, about half of the time, we're gonna take the foil off so that our chicken can get some color, start to brown.
Coming back to the Bariis isku karis, I already added in the cooked vegetables, which was the carrots, peas and sweet corn. You can add more if you would like, it's totally up to you. And now I mashed up the Maggi blockers, and I'm just going to add them into my food. After I've done this, I already have my washed rice. I'm going to add that into it right now. And after I've done that, I'm also going to add some water so that the rice can obviously cook itself as well. And then I'm going to put aluminium foil on it. And the reason I'm doing that, it's because so that the aroma and the freshness and everything is sealed all in and it doesn't release into the air. and it allows it not to overcook either or burn itself.
So now I'm gonna make my side dish, and this is very popular in Jamaica, plantains. We grow them everywhere, we eat them all the time with anything. You can eat them in the morning, for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner. It's basically kind of like a banana, but with this you have to cook it. Some people eat it raw, but it's maybe bad for you, so I wouldn't suggest doing that. So you just have to cut off each of the ends. It's harder to peel than a banana as well. Then you put one slit through it, and you take the skin off. And you see, the thing is that you wanna, some people avoid this color, but this is exactly what you want to get. You can buy the green ones, but they don't taste good at all because they're not ripe yet. So you want to get a kind of blackish, yellowish color, because that's when it's ripe and that's when it's sweet and perfect for cooking. My parents always taught me to cut it diagonally. I wouldn't recommend you do this if you're not used to using knives, but I am. So just like that. So I already lit the stove, and I have my pan here. Doesn't matter what size it is, but I prefer to have a heavy pan as well so it doesn't burn too quickly. And you're gonna place it on the stove, and you're gonna add some oil. I would put perhaps enough oil to cover the plantains when you put them inside of the pan, because that's best, and you have an even coating as well when you're frying them. Okay, so now we're gonna add the plantains to the pot. It's been heating up for a little bit, because you have to make sure that the oil is hot enough. If not, it's gonna be a disaster. Usually your food absorbs oil when you put it inside of the pot when the oil is still cold. So you want to make sure the oil is hot enough. And one of the ways you can tell is if you just take one piece of your food and dip it inside of it. And if it starts to bubble, perfect. You don't want to see smoke coming out of your pot, but you know, like this is perfect. And you want to hear that sizzle. It's like, I'm ready to be cooked. My plantains are just about finished now. So I took them off the fire, and here you see the color that they should have. Let me bring it up close. So it's about kind of like a goldish brown. It's really beautiful.
Yeah, and this is Bariis karis. This is what it should look like most of the time. And yes, we Somalians, we love bananas. So yeah, if you ever go to like an Ethiopian or Somalian restaurant or something like that, or maybe here in the Netherlands or anywhere else, this is how they would present it. And with the, just to mention, I added cardamom sticks and the cinnamon sticks and the cardamom on top, usually about 5 to 10 minutes before it gets sort of ready, and that's just to sort of enhance the flavor and give it a sweet aroma.
So our plantains are finished now. We have them soaking up, we have the napkin underneath soaking up the grease. So I'm gonna get my chicken out of the oven now. Safety first. Here it is. That smells awesome. And it looks awesome. So it's brown with just a tad of the seasoning burnt, and that's perfect. That's where you get a lot of flavor.
Okay, so this is the final appearance and look. This is the Bariis karis. You don't have to eat it with a banana if you don't want to, but if you want to be like culturally aware, then please do so.
And this is our jerk chicken, looking very brown and delicious and finger looking good. And these are the plantains. I mean, these are so easy to make, and you can just eat them by themselves for lunch or something. So this is our end product, and we plan to eat them together. So we're enjoying the best of both worlds, some African-ness with some Caribbean-ness, and it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. And thank you very much for watching. And I hope you enjoy your food when you make it. It's smakelijk. And yeah, this is thank you for tuning in. The last episode of Cheapalicious.